Well, we're back again with another No Fluff analysis, and this time we'll be talking about the showcase A Splash of Adventure, running from the 31st of July to the 14th of August UTC. And another thing to keep in mind is from this showcase onwards, there are going to be changed 5-star rates for dragons. The rates for 5-star featured dragons are going to go from 0.5% to 0.8%, and then non-featured dragons will be going from 1.5% to 1.2%. While adventurers stay the same. This means it's going to be slightly easier, you're going to be more likely to pull the featured dragon on any showcase. And with that out of the way, let's get to the adventurers. First up, we've got the 5-star Water X, Summer Julietta, the Paladin in Paradise. Her first skill, Sunny Flash, deals 2 hits to a target and nearby enemies, inflicting bog for 8 seconds. Summer Julietta's second skill is Vacation Vigor, increasing her and her nearby allies' strength by 15% for 15 seconds. This also has Skill Shift, with Phase 2 adding crit rate for 15 seconds and Phase 3 adding a shield for 30% of Julietta's hit points. Being an X unit, Julietta has the Defense Co ability. In terms of her other abilities, Julietta grants her team 10% strength for 10 seconds anytime she inflicts bog on an enemy, and this effect has a 5-second cooldown. She also has 100% stun resist, and also Primed Strength. Primed Strength grants a unit you're controlling 10% strength for 10 seconds whenever Summer Julietta's Sunny Flash skill becomes ready for use. This effect has a 15-second cooldown. Having stun resist points Summer Julietta towards Flame Imperial Onslaught, and with the amount of buffs that she can grant, as well as her Prime Strength, I feel like she would be a very nice adventurer to have on AI as well if I were controlling a Xander, due to Xander's synergy with having lots of buffs. Next up on the showcase, we have the 5-star Water Sword, Summer Celliera, the Avid Arms Master. Summer Celliera's first skill is Ocean Fury, which hits enemies ahead of her 4 times and inflicts bog for 8 seconds. Summer Celliera's second skill is Pep Talk, which deals 1 hit to enemies nearby Celliera, and nearby allies gain 10% defense for 10 seconds. This also has Skill Shift, where Phase 2 grants a 10% strength buff, and Phase 3 grants 20% attack rate for 10 seconds. This style of Skill Shift buffing your team reminds me a bit of Marth, but unfortunately with Phase 1 always granting defense, it's going to be less of a DPS gain than Marth grants to his team. Being a sword unit, Summer Celliera has the Dragon Haste Co ability. In terms of other abilities, Celliera also has the Strength Doublebuff, granting 13% strength for 15 seconds, 100% burn resist, and buff time 30%. Having burn resist points Summer Celliera towards dealing with Hybron Hilda. While Skill 2 is primarily a defensive ability due to it having, a defense buff on Phase 1, it might be quite welcome in Hybron Hilda, and the strength and attack rate are sort of cherries on the top. Or are they the icing on the cupcake? I'm not entirely sure. The defense is rather bland anyway. And then we have the 4-star Water Blade, Summer Ranzal, the Grill Master. Summer Ranzal's first skill is Surf's Up, which hits 4 times inflicting bog for 8 seconds. Apparently, changing direction is possible during the attack, which reminds me of Ezalith and Ramona. I'm not sure if there's anyone else. Summer Ranzal's second skill is Barbecue Bonanza, granting himself and nearby allies 10% strength for 15 seconds, as well as hit point regeneration for 15 seconds. And of course, being a blade unit, Summer Ranzal grants the Strength Co ability to the rest of his team. In terms of other abilities, Ranzal has Last Offense, granting him a 40% strength buff for 15 seconds when he falls to 30% hit points. He also has Stun Resist, and Primed Defense, granting the unit you control 8% defense for 10 seconds whenever his skill 1 becomes available. This effect is on a 15-second cooldown. In a similar vein to Summer Julietta, I feel like Summer Ranzal might be a nice AI unit to have while you're dealing with Flame Imperial Onslaught, especially if you use Xander as your lead like I do. The fact that his skill 1 also inflicts bog is quite a nice boon to your team's overall DPS. And due to the fact that we also have an event running at the same time, we're also joined by the Welfare 4-star Water Wand unit, Summer Estelle, the Beachside Preacher. Summer Estelle's first skill is Ocean Fury, and yes, it shares the name with Celliera's first skill, Ocean Fury. Anyway, it deals 2 AoE hits on an enemy, and for enemies that are hit, there is a 40% chance that their defense is reduced by 5% for 10 seconds. Summer Estelle's second skill is Lifeguard Lift, which is a 15% strength buff for 15 seconds on water adventurers in the team, and this also removes stun. Being a wand unit, Summer Estelle has the skill Damage Co ability. In terms of other abilities, she also has Demi-Human's Bane, which is a plus 25% damage to demi-humans. She also has 50% stun resist at maximum and 20% buff time. Overall, I'd say all of the abilities are rather subpar due to buff time only affecting her skill 2, and then Demi-Human's Bane is also quite niche, and then she also doesn't gain full immunity from stun resist without some help from maybe Wyrmprints. However, she might still be okay as an AI unit in Flame Imperial Onslaught due to being able to clear stun from your other units, enabling you to use some non-stun resist adventurers in Flame Imperial Onslaught. Anyway, moving swiftly on, we have the featured dragon of this showcase, the 5-star water dragon, Siren, the Spellbinding Singer. She grants 20% strength and 90% skill damage to water units. Siren's skill is Aquatic Melody, which deals one large AoE around Siren, and also increases the damage of your adventurer's next damaging skill by 40%. I imagine this means Siren will be very good for maybe Lily, and other water units that have the majority of their damage coming from skills. A quick check on the Blue's Dragalia Lost Simulator points most people towards Siren if you have multiple damaging abilities. And also it seems like Summer Estelle is a lot better than I initially thought, although that is contingent on yourself landing your buff on your entire team. Overall, it seems like the water lineup is looking incredibly team buff heavy, which could spiral incredibly out of control if unchecked. Anyway, we also have the 5-star Welfare Fire Dragon, granting 30% strength, Erasmus, the Azure Beacon. Erasmus's skill is Illuminated Path, dealing 4 hits to enemies in a line. And from the icon, I'd guess it's kind of like Voginoy's, which also means it's rather bad on small targets. I found that when I use Voginoy in Flame Imperial Onslaught, his skill only hits the main target maybe once, sometimes twice. And so this skill might also be relegated to only really being effective on large targets. Anyway, with this showcase we have 2 new Wyrmprints added to the Treasure Trade lineup. We have the 5-star print Summer Paladyns, which grants Axe units 40% skill damage and also energy double buff. Unfortunately, I don't think Summer Paladyns quite beats out Kung Fu Masters as an Axe specialized print, but I do suppose it might be a good alternative if you haven't managed to get a Kung Fu Masters somehow. And then we've got the 4-star print Beach Battle, granting water units 7% skill haste and also 20% buff time. This is now Elizan's preferred print alongside Jewels of the Sun, granting your team lots of buffs many times per battle. However, due to the fact that it only grants water units skill haste, it means that it's rather Elizan specific. And then alongside the event we have the 4-star event print Preacher's Vacation, which grants 10% flame resist and 5% overdrive punisher. While it's not really fantastic, I suppose it's okay as a filler print if you're not really keen on spending out water on prints. Anyway, in terms of old content that's seeing a rate up on this showcase, we've got Karina, the 4-star Water X, and Voginoy, the 4-star Water Dragon, granting a straight strength bonus. And now for something completely different. Cause I'm sure people are tired of me saying the same thing after every non-limited banner. Overall, I think the water units added in this showcase are all rather good. They all have fantastic team synergy and they're all topping the DPS simulations on the Blue's site. So if you're really looking to beef up your water team, I'd say that this is a showcase you want to be gunning for. And of course, everyone's in swimsuits, which I'm sure people love, so if that's your thing, go for it as well. Anyway, thank you very much for watching until the end, and I wish you luck in your upcoming pulls.